Good evening, everyone. Good evening and Jai Hind. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, and I welcome you all to this session. In the last session, we were discussing about some of the articles. There was one article with respect to Supreme Court and what suggestions it has given with respect to the online content, the online vulgar content. Then we have also seen about IT rules also, information and technology rules also. We have seen an article with respect to Gangetic dolphin also. And then we have even seen at the end of the session, we have even seen one of the news article, that is Sphere X, which was with respect to NASA's telescope for going on to study what happened after the Big Bang. So these were the topics which we have discussed in the last session. I hope all of you are doing well. Now, we are here in the month of March, 5th March. So I hope your preparation is going well. We are also having this we are also having this revision series in the morning also at 8 a.m. So I hope that is also helping you. And at the same time, we are now focusing on those topics which are relevant for prelims as well as mains. Okay. So that is also something which will be helping you. Okay. Yes, I am doing quite good. I hope all of you are also doing well. Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss a few things. First thing is Russia, Ukraine, this Russia, Ukraine and US matter. So there is a very important angle which we are going to see in today's article. There is a very important thing which we are going to see in today's topic. Okay. Like right now, till now, we have seen that what is happening between US, Russia and Ukraine. Now there is one thing which is important for even us. Okay. This is one of the case study which is important even for us. So we are going to talk in that respect also. Now, second thing is we are going to talk about this maternal mortality rate. It is relevant with your prelims exam, and India has seen a significant decline in maternal mortality rate as well as infant mortality rate. So this is one topic which we are going to see. Third topic which we are going to see is carbon intensity. So this is related to your environment section. So carbon intensity is also one topic which you have to understand. We will also see a very important thing. Now this will be relevant for prelims also as well as mains. You can quote this as an example. Okay. As a form of example, you can quote this, the things which we are going to talk about in carbon intensity. Then we will talk about this delimitation also. Now in today's newspaper, in the Hindu, there is a very important comparison that what will happen in case of delimitation. If delimitation is taking place in India, what is going to be its impact? So we are going to discuss about that also. And finally, we are going to talk about this one terms also, Wallace line. Okay. This is again one thing with respect to prelims, international relations prelims. Okay. So these are something which we are going to talk about. But before we go into that, there is an information for you. We are having this UPSC Prelims test series. Okay. And it is going to have 17 tests in which 8 full length tests will be there. 8 CSAT tests also will be there. CSAT is one of the topic in which I think many of you are having challenge. So this is one prelims test series for 2025 aspirants. Here we have got 8 full length tests, 8 full length CSAT test and 1 test based on economic survey, budget and ministry report. So this is for the offline, the fees 1299. You can scan this QR code to know more about this course. Okay. Like complete syllabus coverage, both sectional and full length test will be there. Even there will be analysis of question paper through the video discussion. We will also have this detailed PDF solution, and you can also check that what is your all India ranking. Okay. So this Test series is available in Hindi and English both. It is going to be in offline mode. Okay. So here we have the different dates also, that on what date you can avail this. Okay. So if you want to know about this, if you want to know more about this, you can simply scan this QR code from here. You can take this QR code from here, and from there you can get the information. Okay. There is one more thing, those who are also in UPPCS. So for them also, there is this Hindi and English batch which is going to start offline. Okay. And like here again, like we are having this mains test series. We are having this mains test series in Hindi and English. Okay. So here we are having again this is going to start from 9th of March, and we are having this complete coverage of the entire syllabus from UPPCS perspective. Okay. So there again, like many of you may have qualified in this UPPCS exam. Recently the exam results were declared. So this is again one of the things. You can scan this QR code to know more about this one also. Okay. So this is also going to start at the different offline center, Prayagraj, Mukherjee Nagar, as well as Karol Bagh. Okay. So these are the test series dates also. It is going to start from 9th of March and will conclude on this 12th June 2025. So it is also going to have 17 tests for the mains examination. So these two are information for you. You have this QR code also, or you can simply visit the website. There also you can get the information about it. Okay. Now coming back to our topic, we have this topics which we are going to see in today's session. But before we go into that, there are certain questions which you can solve. Okay. So here we are having this one question with reference to the city's coalition for circularity. Consider the following statement. First one is saying the initiative aims to promote circular economy practices in urban areas by reducing waste and improving resource efficiency. Secondly, saying the coalition is led by United Nations Environment Programme in partnership with World Bank. So last day we have discussed this topic. I hope you can answer this. Cities Coalition for Circularity. Last day we have discussed this topic. For UPSC we have this test center at Patna also. Yes, Shiv Shankar, it is available at Patna also. Like for, okay, I will show you the centers also. First go through these questions, and then after that I will show you the centers also. B option, Cities Coalition for Circularity. Last day we have discussed this topic. So I expect that all of you can answer this. Yes, Shiv Shankar, see, the tests are available at both Boring Road Center as well as Musallapur Center. So it is going to be available at both these centers. Now, what will be the answer here? We have discussed this topic last day. When we talk about the Cities Coalition for Circularity, we have seen India has launched this initiative. We have seen that India has launched this initiative, and of course it aims at reducing waste and improving resource efficiency. So here, of course, this first option is correct, but second option is incorrect. It has not been launched by United Nations Environment Programme or World Bank. This is a international multi-nation partnership or multi-nation initiative which has been announced by India. It has been launched by India. So here the second statement is incorrect. Answer here will be option number A, one only. Okay. So how are you giving option number C? Option C will be incorrect. Now coming to the second question, I think this everyone can answer. With reference to the Gangetic dolphin, consider the following statement. The Gangetic dolphin is classified as an endangered species under the IUCN Red List. It has got the same level of protection as Great Indian Rhinoceros under Indian laws. The exceptional vision of Gangetic dolphin enables it to hunt its prey from long distances. How many of the above statements are correct? How many of the statements which are given there are correct? Do you guys want questions or not? Like, you are giving very few answers. So do you want the questions or not? Or I can simply like give you the topics only. Only two. So if you look at this, question, the first one is saying the Gangetic dolphin is classified as endangered species under the IUCN Red List. So we have seen that last day also that this statement is correct, that Gangetic dolphin is classified as endangered under the IUCN Red List. Now, this is one of the pattern. Sometimes you will find that UPSC has given the statements like this. They have not simply mentioned that whether it is protected under Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 or others. It has simply asked you a question like this. It has got the same level of protection as Great Indian Rhinoceros under Indian laws. Now you have to know about both these species. That Great Indian Rhinoceros is also protected under Schedule 1 and this one is also protected under Schedule 1. So second is also correct. Now here it is saying the exceptional vision of Gangetic dolphin enables it to hunt its prey. Now we know that Gangetic dolphin has no such vision. It has very poor eyesight, or rather we can say it is blind. It is working with help of echolocation. Echolocation. So that is use of sound waves. Okay. So this third one is correct. Answer is option number B, only 2. Okay. Now this is one question. Question number 3. And this is going to be a little bit tough. It is going to be a little bit tough. But if you focus on the important points of the question, I hope you can easily solve it. Okay. First one is saying Hubble Space Telescope, James Webb Space Telescope, Chandra X-ray Observatory and Euclid Space Telescope. Last day we have seen about the Euclid Space Telescope. Okay. Now, it is asking, you have to match the pair. You have to match the pair. So here we have study of X-ray emission from black holes, observing the first galaxies and exoplanets. Third is saying studying dark matter and early universe. And fourth is saying observing visible and ultraviolet spectra of distant celestial objects. So there are 4 options. You have to match it. So this is going to be a little bit tough, but I think you can solve it. I trust on your ability. Question number 3. Okay, one answer as option number A. See, there is one thing. If you just look at this third option, Chandra X-ray Observatory. And here we have this one thing, a study of X-ray emission from black holes. So that one is related. Last day we have seen Euclid Space Telescope. It was like, I think last to last day when we were discussing about this Einstein ring and all. So there we have seen that Euclid Space Telescope has given this image of this Einstein ring. So this is just reading about the dark matters and all. So Euclid Space Telescope is doing this part. This Hubble Space Telescope, if we look at this, it is having this duty of observing the first galaxies and exoplanets. And then we have James Webb Space Telescope observing visible and ultraviolet spectra of distant celestial objects. Okay. So here we can see like first option B. Sorry, no. If we talk about the visible part, it is Hubble space. Visible part is Hubble space, and this James Webb Space Telescope is for observing the first galaxies and exoplanets. This James Webb Space Telescope is looking in the infrared. It is looking in the infrared. Okay. So here we have the first option as D. Second option we can see that option number B. Third option we have A, and fourth option we have C. Okay. So here we have answer as A option, D, B, A and C. So here the answer will be option number this, D, B, A and C. Hubble Space Telescope, visible and ultraviolet. James Webb, it is looking at infrared. So here it will be observing the first galaxies and exoplanets. Okay. And this Chandra Ray X-ray Observatory, that is for X-ray emissions, and Euclid Space Telescope studying dark matter and early universe. Okay. So here the option will be option number A, D, B, A and C. Okay. So this is question number 3. Okay. Now let us start our discussion. And first topic which we are going to discuss is, now see this news article. The news article is a reflection of how the world works, how the world is working, or why a country needs to be powerful, why a country needs to invest in its defense, in its strategic autonomy. This is a case study for that. Now, you may have seen the spat between Zelensky and Donald Trump. After this, what has happened, that US has said that we will not be giving any support, we will be pulling back our help and all other things. So now Ukraine is having no option. It has to come on terms with US now. Okay. So last time also we have read this. Last time also we have seen this. It is a war of US and Russia, and thus Ukraine is in the middle of it. Okay. So now there is one more thing. In the news article itself, it says that Ukraine, now the Ukraine president is saying that they are ready to have any such deal. They are going to have all such deal. They are going to accept ban on missiles, ban on long range drones, bombs or other infrastructures also. Okay. So what we see that they are ready for no drones, no missiles, no bomb. So they say that they are ready for this. They will not be having the drones or any other thing, or missiles or any bomb attacks. Okay. Plus, they have also said that they are also ready to sign an agreement with US. Why? To give preferential access to United States for the natural resources of Ukraine. Now you can get the point. Preferential access to resources of Ukraine. To United States. So this is the main point now. Okay. US is saying that we want your natural resources. We want your natural resources. We want your oil. We want your rare earth elements. We want all your natural resources, and we want preferential access for that. So that is the main thing why Ukraine was having a war with Russia. Okay. So Russia is getting the territories, Russia is getting the access to the Black Sea region, and US is getting the natural resources out of Ukraine. What has Ukraine got? It has lost life, it has lost its GDP, it has lost its national infrastructure, and so on. Okay. Now, there is a context of this. There is a history of this. What is the history? History is of 1990 1991 to 1994. This was the time when we have this disintegration of USSR. This was the time when we have this disintegration of USSR. Earlier, Ukraine was part of this USSR. So when there was disintegration of USSR, Ukraine, this one was third largest. It was third largest nuclear power of world. At that time, Ukraine was third largest nuclear power of the world. So there was a convention, there was a treaty which was signed between Ukraine, United States, United Kingdom and Russia. There was a treaty which was signed. What was the aim of the treaty? There was this treaty signed in 1994. There was this treaty which was signed in 1994. Okay. This treaty said that like US, United States, UK and Russia, they will provide security to Ukraine. They will provide security to Ukraine. There was a signing of a treaty that United States, United Kingdom and Russia will defend the borders of Ukraine. On what condition? The condition was one simple thing, that remove all nuclear weapons. Remove all nuclear weapons. So Ukraine have gone for denuclearization. Ukraine has gone for denuclearization, means it has removed all its nuclear power, all its nuclear arsenal. It was the third largest nuclear power in 1994. So there was this convention, there was this treaty signed between US, UK, Russia and Ukraine. These three countries have said that they will provide security to the Ukraine. They will defend Ukraine in all conditions. Now Russia has attacked this. United States is going to extract resources from Ukraine, and United Kingdom is just sitting at its home enjoying the scene of the war. Okay. So this is the treaty and that is the result for Ukraine. In just 30 years, we can see what has been commitment of US, Russia and United Kingdom towards this treaty of 1994. Okay. So they have gone for denuclearization. That's why there was a very important line which was said by former President of India. A very important line was said by former President of India. When India went for nuclear weapons, one of the news reporters asked APJ Abdul Kalam that you always talk about peace, you always talk about welfare, you always talk about the good things in people and all. But then you have also gone for development of nuclear weapons. You were the architect of India's nuclear program. So then Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said one simple line. That line is, unless India stands up to the world, no one will respect us. In this world, fear has no place. Only strength respects strength. So you have this case study of Ukraine. Ukraine has gone for denuclearization. Ukraine has removed all the nuclear arsenals. Within 30 years, Ukraine has been annexed by Russia and they have been looted by United States. While United Kingdom is just passing by, it is just like standing there enjoying the war. Okay. So this is why strength respects strengths. That is the main part of any nation. Whenever there is a debate about this, that should India have nuclear weapons or not, we have the example of Ukraine. Not only we, all the countries of the world have this example, that how serious United States, Russia or other countries are towards their commitment. They have committed the security of Ukraine and they are the one who are just looting Ukraine. Okay. So this is one thing. From here you can get the idea why nuclear weapons or why defense is strategically important. Okay. why defense is strategically important, you can just see it from here. So I hope that is clear. That's why we have discussed this topic. Whenever you have to write, you can write the case study of Ukraine. In essay and other things, you can write the case study of Ukraine. Ukraine has gone for denuclearization, and Ukraine has been annexed by by Russia, and it has been forced to go for that by US also. So I hope this part is clear. So in essay, this can be one of the very good examples. In GS paper 2, you may not be directly getting the questions on this, but this is one example which you can use in essay for sure. Okay. Now, coming to the second topic, maternal mortality rate in India. Maternal mortality rate. So can you tell me what is maternal mortality rate? What is this maternal mortality rate? MMR, maternal mortality rate. What is maternal mortality rate? Any idea about this? Maternal mortality rate? Like, there has been a news article which says that India's maternal mortality rate has come down to 100 deaths per lakh live birth. Okay. So it is basically calculation of death of women during childbirth. So what we see that, like in India, what is the trend? Like right now we have this 100 death per 1 lakh live births. Means suppose that 1 lakh children are born. So in that situation, in 100 cases, there is death of the women, death of the mother. So that is one thing. It is calculation of death of the women or the mother during childbirth. Okay. So right now we have this figure of 100 deaths per lakh. Okay. So we have done significantly well as compared to the global levels. Okay. If we talk about the global MMR, if we talk about global maternal mortality rate, this figure is near about 158.8 in 2021. Okay. This figure is 158.8 in 2021. Okay. So it changes year by year, but of course it is more than 150. Okay. So according to WHO, in 2021 it was 158.8 globally. That was the average maternal mortality rate. So from there you can see that we have like done exceptionally well in this regard. Okay. India has got a decline of 83% in MMR between 1990 to 2020. Okay. So we have got 83% decline in MMR between 1990 to 2020. So we have done significantly well in case of maternal mortality rate. There is also one thing called as infant mortality rate. We have another angle which is called as infant mortality rate. So here also we see that India has done significantly well. Right now if we talk about in India, this infant mortality rate is 25.8 or 25.799 per thousand. Okay. So what we see that here it is 25.799 per 1000 births. Okay. So out of 1000 children who are born, near about 25 to 26 die. So that is infant mortality rate. If we talk about the global IMR, global infant mortality rate, so here we see that this figure is also higher. Here we have global mortality rate as 37 per 1000. So remember, infant mortality rate is calculated per 1000 births, whereas the maternal mortality rate is calculated per lakh live births, Okay. So here we see that in both these cases, India has done significantly well as compared to the global level. The decline has also been higher. In absolute terms also, we are doing well. It means in India, now we see that there is a significant improvement in the health sector. Now, especially if we talk about these two factors, why there has been a decline, why we have seen a decline in infant mortality rate or maternal mortality rate. So here we have to also examine what are the factors. Can you tell me what are the factors behind this? Why we have seen such a decline in infant mortality rate or maternal mortality rate? What are the factors behind this? Why we have seen significant change or like exceptionally well in India as compared to the global level? What has been the main like change here in India? Don't know. What has been significant here? See, if we talk about India, what we see that earlier there was like most of the deliveries, most of the childbirth was taking place outside the hospitals. Now we see that there is more institutional deliveries. More institutional deliveries or childbirth. So that is one of the main factors, that many of these deliveries or childbirth are taking place within the hospitals, within the healthcare centers. And why this is happening? Because of government incentive. One thing is incentive plus awareness plus purchasing capacity of people. So that is one of the major factors, that we are having more institutional deliveries. Second thing, we see that there is a significant angle, ASHA workers, okay. Accredited social health activist. Okay. So they are going from home to home, they are giving various advice during pregnancy, during the delivery of child, for rearing of child, for nutrition of child. So ASHA workers who are there, they are one of the like main agents of change, especially in the rural areas, especially in the disadvantaged regions. Okay. So they are giving various counseling, various advice, various like even the different medicines which are there. They are providing all these things to the pregnant women. Okay. So that is also one of the factors which is helping the pregnant women also, and even the infant as well. Plus you have seen there have been a number of schemes by government. Janani Suraksha Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. There is also midday meal scheme. They are providing they are getting nutrition via Anganwadis also. So Anganwadis are there, Janni Suraksha Yojana is there, Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana is there, and again a number of schemes by the local state governments. So all these welfare schemes plus institutional deliveries, and due to incentive plus awareness plus purchasing capacity of people, we are seeing that MMR and IMR has been declining in India. So this is one of the positive aspects of Indian health sector. Okay. That Indian health sector is improving day by day. This is again one example of how Indian health sector is improving day by day. Okay. In previous months, we also had a session where we have discussed that how many number of doctors and all are there in India. So we have seen that even the number of doctors in India is more than the recommended level of WHO. So we also are having more number of doctors as compared to the recommendation level of World Health Organization. So this is an improvement on the Indian health sector side. Okay. So I hope that is clear. Yes, government provide fund for delivery of women. Yes, not per child, it is for the first child. Not for every child, it is generally given for the first child, not for every. Okay. Now, साइंस में ही टेक्नोलॉजी कवर हो गया क्या? No, technology will be done separately. The technology part is done separately. General science is done separately. Okay. Now we have this one topic, carbon intensity. So this is also one of the topic which was there in the news in the Hindu today. And what is carbon intensity? Can you tell me what is this carbon intensity? I hope you can define this also. What is carbon intensity? Can anyone define this? What is carbon intensity? What is carbon intensity? I hope you can define this part, carbon intensity. Like when we are talking about carbon intensity of any sector, this is very much important. This is very much crucial because we are calculating it. We are calculating it to see that how much carbon intensive a particular sector is. Carbon intensive is calculated differently for different sectors. Like suppose that when we are talking about a steel sector, so they will calculate like this, that per ton steel production, how much carbon dioxide is produced. Okay. So it is like amount of emission released, or amount of emission with respect to per unit production, or with respect to revenue generation, means carbon intensity can be defined for each and every sector in a different manner. Like a steel industry can define it that for 1 ton production of steel, how much amount of carbon dioxide is released. Or we can also have this definition that for 1 million revenue generated from the steel sector, how much carbon dioxide is getting released into the environment. So this is one of the way to define carbon intensity of any of the sector. Okay. So now, yes, this is like how much carbon is released with respect to per unit production or per unit revenue generation. So here we have seen, just for giving this example, Like when we are talking about utilities, like here we have electric, gas, water utilities, independent producer. So for them, the carbon dioxide emission per $1 million of revenue, it has been estimated to be 2,634 tons. Now you don't have to remember this figure. You don't have to remember this figure, but you can remember from here that electric, gas and water utilities, they are one of the major contributor or the highest contributor of carbon emission. They are one of the highest contributor of carbon emission. How are you going to use this? Suppose you are writing a mains answer that how we can focus on reduction of carbon dioxide emission or way forward for reducing the emission. So there you can write a specific point that the utility sector is responsible for most of the carbon emission. It is not industries, it is not other thing. It is the utility sector, electricity, gas, water. They are the major emitter. They have the highest carbon intensity. So we need to work on this. We need to refine this part. That is where you have to, that is where you can write this answer that utility sector is one of the main part. Then materials, chemical, construction, packaging, metals, mining. You can see they are the second major contributor or second highest carbon intensive sector. Then we have energy also, industry also, consumer staples also. You may have seen this part. Like whenever we are talking about pollution near Delhi, whenever we are talking about pollution near Delhi, so we generally talk about this that due to stubble burning, we have huge amount of pollution. Of course, the stubble burning causes pollution. But you can see what is the emission intensity. Emission intensity of the consumer staples like food, household goods and personal products. They are on the lower side. They are on the lower side. But if we compare the other sectors, their emission intensity is quite high. So food is of course responsible for this higher emissions, but not as high as the utility sector, not as high as the industries or materials or energy sector. So that is one thing which you can use for comparison. Okay. Now, just to give you some idea, there is one thing called as efforts for reducing emission. Reducing emission. Like we cannot stop using water. We cannot stop using electricity. But what are the options for us? We have seen the utility sector is one of the major part. And in utility, how we are having the pollution? Coal-based thermal power plants. In the last session also we have seen India is producing more than 75% of energy in the present times from coal-based thermal power plants. Installed capacity is different. But when we talk about actual production, near about 75% production is coming from coal-based thermal power plant. So what is the option here? Switch to renewables. Switch to renewables. Focus on enhancing. Focus on enhancing energy efficiency. Energy efficiency. Many a times we have higher energy consumption because our appliances are not good. Our appliances are not functioning well. They are outdated. They are very much old and hence they are causing more and more pollution. So if our appliances are doing well, then also we can have reduction in greenhouse gas emission. Okay. Then we can focus on reduce, reuse and recycle. Recycle. Here again, you can give those examples. Mission lifestyle. Mission life. Lifestyle for environment. lifestyle for environment. And right now, last day we have seen this part, cities for circularity. So these are some of the examples which you can quote, how we can focus on this reducing the carbon intensity, of different sector. You can use this example. Okay. So this is one thing which you can do, that how we can reduce the emissions and all. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Now, I am going to ask one question. Like, suppose the fourth topic which we have to see is delimitation. The next thing which we have to see is delimitation. So tell me a few things about this delimitation. Who will be carrying out this delimitation exercise? Like, who will be responsible for carrying out the delimitation exercise? And how many times delimitations has been carried out in India? How many times we have this delimitation in India? Home Minister. Delimitation. What is delimitation? Delimitation is basically redrawing of the boundaries. It is basically redrawing of electoral constituency boundaries. Okay. Delimitation is basically about the redrawal of the boundaries, of this like the different electoral constituencies of Lok Sabha or legislative assembly, etc. So that is redrawal of the boundary. When we talk about the union level, there is appointment of this delimitation commission. We have this appointment of delimitation commission. This is done by Parliament, not Home Minister. It is done by Parliament. And this is giving the suggestion on delimitation. Okay. This is giving the suggestion on delimitation. So 3 delimitations were carried out after the census of 1951, 1961 and 1971. In 2002 also, there was a little bit readjustment. There was just readjustment within the states. Not like at the entire national level, but within the states, there were readjustments of the boundary. Okay. So delimitation has been carried out 4 times. 3 in which number of seats and all has been changed. 4th time, again it was conducted just for changing the boundaries within the states. So there have been 4 such delimitation exercises. 4 delimitation exercises. 4 delimitation exercises has been conducted. 3 times after the census and in 2002 just for the redrawal of boundaries within the states. Okay. So there have been 4 such exercises in the past. Now there is a demand of delimitation. So while this demand is ongoing, there is a lot of debate, there is a lot of controversy with respect to this. So what is the main challenge? Why there is a controversy? Why there is a concern? The concern has been highlighted mostly by southern and western states. Southern and western states. So why they are highlighting this issue, or why they are having a challenge with respect to the delimitation? Why they are like not very much happy with this exercise? See, when we are talking about delimitation, this delimitation will be done on basis of population. On basis of population. During the 1970s, there was a population boom in India. There was the phase of population explosion in India. Huge increase was there in the population. But the southern states and the western states controlled this. They raised awareness among the people. They have gone for raising the awareness among the people, and they were able to hold their population. They were able to maintain a lower level of population. So in the 1970s, these states controlled the increase in population. Controlled population increase. Controlled population increase. Now, there are certain eastern states. There are some eastern states where we have seen huge population. Where we have seen huge population increase. Huge population increase. So now, what is going to happen? There is an analysis of this on the basis of, if we do not change it, if we simply go for redrawal, or if we go for increasing the number of seats. So there are two situations which has been analyzed by, in the Hindu newspaper, we have seen these two situations. Okay. So first situation is this: when we fix number at 543 seats, there is one condition. Case 1. There is one condition. If we fix the seat at 543 and then we go for division of the seats among the states, if we are going for division of seats among the states, so UP, on the basis of its current population, earlier it is having 80 seats, it will get 91. If we talk about Bihar, it has got 40 seats right now, it will get 50. But Kerala, it has got 20 seats right now, it will come to 12. If we talk about other states, like suppose Tamil Nadu, it has got 39 seats right now, which will come down to 31. Okay. The other states will also have significant amount of loss. Many other states will also have significant amount of loss. Okay. If we talk about the hilly states of India also, or other states also, so they will have comparatively loss of representation or loss of seats. If we keep the number fixed at 543, they are going to have this. Some of the states will gain, while other states, especially the southern states, are going to lose. Okay. There is a second condition. It says that on the basis of 2026 population, if we increase the seat, total number of seats, let us say that it is 848. On the basis of population, let us say it is increased up to 848. So in this situation, if we talk about UP, it will get from 80 to 143 seats. It will get 80 to 143. If we talk about Bihar, it will get 79 seats from 40. Okay. But if we talk about the other states, like suppose if we are talking about Kerala, so it has 20 seats, it will continue to have 20 seats. If we talk about Tamil Nadu, it is having 39 seats, it will get only 10 seats increase. Okay. If we talk about Andhra Pradesh and Telangana combined together, they will have an increase of only 12 seats. So you can see that it is going in the favor of especially two states, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. 4 states, UP, Bihar, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. They are going to make the most out of it. They are going to benefit most out of it. Whereas the other states, especially the southern states or the hilly states or northeastern states, are going to lose on this. Okay. So that's why they are saying that this delimitation exercise must be freezed for another 30 years. That it can be freezed for the next 30 years. Okay. So that is one thing which has been suggested by the southern states, that it should be freezed for another 30 years. Okay. Why 30 years? Because now we see that there is a stabilization in the population. Now stability is coming even in the northern states. In Uttar Pradesh also, Bihar also, Rajasthan also, Madhya Pradesh also. Now there is a population stabilization. So after 30 years, if we are doing the delimitation exercise, so as per the southern states or as per their leaders, then it will be more equitable distribution of the seats. Okay. So that is one thing which has been said by southern states. Okay. But let us see what happens in this scenario. Okay. Again, the question from you. Last day also I have asked you this question. Again today, what do you think? That should we have delimitation? Should we have increase in seats or not? Okay. Why this delimitation is required? That is one thing which I will leave up to you. You have to tell me one question in the comment box later on, that why this delimitation is required. Okay. Now, I hope this part is clear. I hope this part is clear. What is delimitation? What is the demand? What are the challenge? 30 years later also population will increase, but not at the same rate as it has increased from 1970 to 2020. In this phase, we have seen exponential rise in population. Now the population is somewhat stable. In the next 40 to 50 years, our population will start to decline. We are already on that curve, that in the next 30 to 40 years, our population will start to decline. Okay. So now population increase is not going to be enormously high. It is going to come down now. We will reach our peak. In the upcoming years, we will reach our peak like 150 crore people, 160 crore people, and then it will start to decline back. So we will come back to 120, 130 by the end of this century. So let us discuss one more last topic. There is one thing called as Wallace line. So what is this Wallace line? This is basically a hypothetical line. You can see here, this is basically a hypothetical line. Okay. It says that the faunal species of both the areas are different. Okay. Means suppose that when we are talking about this part and the other portions, here we have Australia and all. So they say that this is a line. This is a line which separates the species between these two areas. Like on this part of the line, we have different type of species. On the other portions, we have different type of species. So this is a hypothetical line. This is not a real line, it is a hypothetical line which separates the distinctive faunas of the regions of Australia, New Zealand and some portions of Indonesia with that of Asia and Southeast Asian countries. Okay. So this is one line. Okay. It separates the faunal species of Asia, Southeast Asia with that of Australia. Okay. So this is a hypothetical line which is separating these two things. Okay. So that is one thing, one simple term which was there in the news, Wallace line. Okay. So that will be all for today. Decline kaise hoga? Now we have seen that already, like people are getting lesser number of children. You will find that most of the people are getting one children. Okay. So one child, they are getting one child. or at max they are getting 2 child. There was a time when people were having 10, 12 childs, or at least 5, 6 children. Yeah, they were having at least 4, 5, 6 children, but now you will find that this trend is reversing. Now people are not even able to nourish 1 or 2 child properly. Like raising child has also become very much expensive. Okay, the school fees are quite high, fooding and all other things are becoming quite high, and there is more awareness among the people also. There is better healthcare also. In the past, there was challenge with the healthcare. Many of the children didn't were not able to survive, but now many of them are able to survive. So people have become more aware. They are having lesser number of child. Okay. Due to which we will see that in the future there will be a decline of Indian population. This is not just a imagination. It is the curve which is going on for India right now. Our fertility rate has come, fertility rate has come below 2.1 in various states. At 2.1, it is stable. In many of the states, it is 1.64, 1.8. Even in Bihar, it has come below 2.1. Okay. So now the population is going to decline. Okay. So I hope that is clear, Shiv Shankar, how this is going to decline. So this is one image of the day. There is one thing called as orangutans. We have discussed about them in the previous classes. They are quite friendly. They are also photo friendly. You can have selfies with them. Okay. So these are orangutans and our Prime Minister. There is one thing called Vantara. Vantara is basically a large area where like those animals who are injured and all, they are taken care of course, by Reliance Industries. Okay. So this Vantara is one such place where this photo was there in the newspaper, orangutans. Okay. So that will be all for today. Let's meet tomorrow and then we will discuss other things. I will leave you with this one question. One simple question. No, two questions actually. I have two questions for you. First question is this. Why India needs a strong defense and nuclear power? Second question, that why there is a need of delimitation in India? Delimitation in India. So tomorrow we will discuss these two questions. Tomorrow we will discuss these two questions, but I am leaving this question for you. Give me the answer in the comment box, as many points as you can write. Tomorrow we will discuss both these points. Why India need to have a strong defense and nuclear power, and at the same time, why do we need delimitation? Today we have seen this part, that why delimitation is being opposed by the southern states. Tomorrow we will see this part in form of question, that why we still require a delimitation. Okay. So that will be all for today. Thank you everyone. Let's meet tomorrow and then we will discuss the remaining things. Thank you and take care.